Don't make me separate you two guys. What up, Posse?
What up, everybody?
Hey.
How's it going? This is Brandon.
And Mark.
And Brandon.
Yeah.
I am Chad.
Brandon version 2.0.
Yeah.
And we have one of our special peeps in the green room. We have Brandon.
Who's
No,
here?
better Brandon.
We have
Spider
another
Brandon
special peep.
is hanging out with for another episode. But we got our man, Angel Toro. There he is.
Toro.
Look at that pretty man.
How you doing,
¿Qué
Toro?
pasa?
How are you, buddy?
Toro with me, baby.
Oh,
Always promoting.
Don't
Nice.
mess with the
You
bull.
know,
I'm a Taurus, brother.
Get the horns.
hey, what day? What day?
May 17th.
Oh, I'm on April 22nd, Earth
Oh.
Day, baby.
Yeah, you're
Nice.
nice. You're a real Taurus. I'm just cussed.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know. I was watching your live segment and I got cut off. But you used to be a personal trainer.
I was not only I was a personal trainer, I was an athletic trainer. So I work with sports teams. I used to work with baseball teams, soccer teams. I have a degree in physical education, sports medicine, athletic training.
Wow.
So that was my life.
Well, and
Oh,
then
nice.
you're also were on the Timberwolves, performance team for years. You did that, and
5 years, the Timberwolves Action Pack, the hypest, the most energetic group in the NBA.
yes, it was. Because you got to be hyped to watch the T-Wolves games.
That's right. Hey, we keep the hope alive.
Oh, you
That's how
did. You
can
did.
hope.
Minnesota fans don't give up.
You think that we can talk some serious nerd stuff right now with toys? I bet you me and Toro would out nerd you fitness.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm
we probably
sure.
know a lot of the same
Probably.
people too. So
Well, toys was always my first love, so sports came after.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually,
You know.
I was kind of the same way, bro. Just like you. Do you still have your Pulsar?
My what?
Your Pulsar, Man Adventure. Did you sell
I
it?
do not. I do not because mine was super beat up, so I've been looking for a really nice one.
I'll keep looking for you, bro.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
won't go into his collection, but
No,
he'll
you
keep
can't
an
have
eye
any-
out
you
for you.
can't have any
Even
of
though he's
mine.
bought
I want
every
the
good
enemy.
one.
What's that?
I want the enemy.
You
That's
want
the
you
one
want
that
Hypnos?
I forgot his name, but I really want that guy.
Hypnos. I have 4 of them. I might sell you one, buddy, or we could do a trade or
Nope.
something.
You gotta hook me up, brother.
I
This
got
is
you,
the guy.
man.
He has enough trade bait.
Yeah,
He does. Every time I see Toro at a swap, and I'm like, "Oh, look at that!" He goes, "Buy or trade, baby. What do you got?"
Trading is live, man.
That's
I did
right.
3 trades this week.
Chad's got some black lights, so you know.
I have some black lights for some of those new Funko Pops. I'm trying to get really okay. It's
And,
like, yay for me.
At Swaps, Toro has always got one of the best vintage booths. Like, everybody's kind of got some newer stuff, but Toro has definitely got one of the better vintage booths. He's got, like, Clash of the Titans, Silverhawks. I mean, you name it. Transformers. There's Captain
Yeah.
Caveman. I
Oh,
mean,
Brandon,
he's just got
you'd
tons
love
of
his
stuff at
stuff.
booth.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, and I know Toro's seen me do this a million times. I walk by his area more times than I do anybody else's because there's CDs, VHS,
Oh,
DVDs.
yeah, he's got it
I bought that Gargoyles from you.
Yes.
I mean, you run everything. WWF. You know a lot about toys.
He does.
How long you been collecting, Angel?
Well, so I started when I was a little kid. First of all, I was an overweight kid. I wanted to play sports, but I couldn't. I had no muscle in my body. I was out of shape. So I started collecting like fantasy stuff, like baseball cards. So I cannot do it, but this guys can. So let me collect the cards.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started, but then wrestling was a big deal. So WWF Hasbro's, the Ultimate Warrior. I remember like I come from a single mother house, so we had no money. My mother never had money, just enough for gas and food.
Yep.
So I had to work around the neighborhood, cutting glass, doing odd jobs, so I can buy my own toys. I used to buy my toys on layaway.
Oh wow.
If you guys remember what layaway was,
I do.
Yep.
Wow.
you know, a lot of young kids don't know what layaway is no more.
Well, and the fact that kids nowadays are so spoiled. Like, if we wanted something, we did have to go mow a lawn. We did have to go shovel some walks. Our parents weren't just shelling out all kinds of money,
They didn't have their credit cards saved on the Amazon account. So
Yeah,
you
wait.
could just be like, oh.
Are you saying kids these days right now?
Yeah,
Is that
kids.
what-
Mark has. So now Mark
I am
is
48 years old.
Kids
man.
these days, shake your fist harder, Mark.
You whippersnappers.
And congratulations, Toro, you got a little one.
Yeah, little
Oh,
Toro.
wow.
Yeah, little Sendai, he's chilling.
Yeah. How old?
Yeah,
how old is he now?
It's 7 months now. going
7
to eight.
months, baby. That's awesome.
Man, that's crazy. That just seemed like yesterday.
It did. It
Yeah.
totally did.
You know what I do when he crying and he needs to come down? I take him to the toy room.
there. You go.
Oh, train him young.
Start- yeah, starting
he
him off
looks
young.
around and he calms down. He's like, "Whoa, what is going on here?"
Yeah.
He's gonna be
yeah.
the only 5-year-old with like demanding that you put all of his gifts in like those clamshells. He's gonna be like, all right, I need 2. He's gonna be asking mom and dad for 2 versions of the toys. Like, I need to keep one mint on card, and I need one I can play with.
No, he's gonna be a dealing beast.
Oh, for sure. For
He's
sure.
gonna be making deals.
Yep.
He's gonna.
You're gonna be having him at the swabs.
That
you
will be
won't
fun
pass
to see.
a quick one by him.
Yeah.
So, Toro, there's not like many shows in town you haven't done, right? Like, you pretty much do all the shows and move around from like flea
What?
markets and Antiques
What?
Minnesota and
So when I first started, so I'm from Boston. I live in the city. If you live in any inner city, it's really hard to collect. There's no yard sales really. It's hard to get stores
yep.
and you live in the hood. It's really hard for you to carry expensive toys because you're afraid you're gonna get robbed.
Yep.
Right.
So, you just didn't do it. So once I moved to Minnesota, I got my first vehicle. I have a house. I started going yard sailing, and I started picking stuff. And then I did my own yard sales. I would make all this money. I'm like, oh, I must be doing something right. And I love toys, so I started selling all type of stuff because when you first start in the business, you sell, furniture, records, whatever you can make any money.
Right.
Yep.
But my number one thing was, how can I get these cool toys? And I thought I would never get my toys from my childhood because I lost them all. I don't know where they went.
Yep.
I think my brother sold them when I sold from Puerto Rico. He sold all my toys.
That's every collector's like nightmare. It's like you come back home and you're like, where are all my stuff? And then your mom's like, oh, I sold it in a yard sale.
Or your cousin was over
Yeah.
here and playing with them, and now like your favorite one's gone.
Or you have a little brother like I did that destroyed all of them. Jermaine,
Yeah.
looking your way, buddy.
Yeah,
Anyways.
so
So-
that's how I started.
So have you was that your first goal, was to just kind of reconnect your childhood toys with what you used to have?
Yeah, it was kind of my first thing. One thing I noticed about Minnesota is awesome. There's a lot of merchandise laying around here.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to yard sales, I was like, this is awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so eventually I was telling my wife, oh man, I accumulated a lot of things. I don't want to be a hoarder. That's not my goal. What about doing a side gig? I work in education, so if you work in education, you'll make a ton of money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I also have the summers off, so I was like, this would be really cool to do. And so I started doing like small little shows. My first show was there's a show that they still do. It's called you guys know what the Mermaid Entertainment Center is in Chorview?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've been to that show.
It's a door show.
Yeah.
And when I first started, the first thing I get all toys. I love Barbies and My Little Ponies and Care Bears. If it's vintage and cool, I'm not over that.
Yep.
And that's how I started doing it. And I always was the youngest person at these shows.
Yeah.
But at least like 10, 15 years. Like it's like older. Like a lot of those shows.
Those shows are
like older collectors.
No offense
right?
to those guys. Sorry, Brandon, to cut you off, but those guys are kind of like the dinosaurs of collecting. Like I feel like you've even introduced me to a couple of those guys, and they've done Posse shows. Like they don't have Facebook, they don't have PayPal, they don't have emails. The guy was
Yeah.
like, "Here, I'm gonna pay you for the show. I'll see you in 2 months." And I was like, "Okay, I'll put your name on the list." And I never heard from him again. But sure enough, the day that the show was, he was there.
Yeah,
Old
because
school collector.
that's because Mark is the exact same way. You put him in front of a computer, he's like, I don't have a computer.
I don't know what to do.
I got my phone.
He's
That,
like, stop all the downloading.
that works.
But I found two groups. I found all because I was younger. A lot of them took interest in me, and they helped me a lot in how to even how to set up your booth, how to find stuff to your display your items. And they were I would just talk to them and get to know them, and they appreciated that because a lot of them are like, there's some ladies or some people there that are just straight up experts on Barbies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're older toys, but they're the foundation of all the toys today.
Yep.
So I find that history is important. If you really want to go into toys, you have to respect the toys that came behind, because it's hard to understand the new toys if you don't understand the first ones.
Yep.
Right, right. Do you find yourself collecting, like, I have a big problem because I'm sort of a purist, and you've noticed that there's a lot of reissues out there. Do you find yourself collecting the reissues, or do you just stay completely vintage?
At the beginning, what happens is at the beginning you get emotional and you want to buy it right away. But then when you open the packet and you feel it, you get disappointed.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So my biggest thing, the way I feel, is that I have no problems if they're gonna re-release something. I'll give you a good example. One of my favorite toys of all time is Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my best friend growing up, me and him play Masters of the Universe. That's how we connected. And I didn't see him for 25 years. And last year I went to Florida, and I brought him a stash of Masters in the Universe. And it was like we went back into time with the real little kid.
Those are like the awesome toy stories.
I find myself like, I can smell an old toy,
Yeah.
and
Right.
that brings back so
Yep.
many memories, but it also drives me to buy more.
Yes.
That's how it goes. you know?
Yeah.
But to go into that toy, so if you make a He-Man, right, a Masters in the Universe figure, you try to make it just identical to the first one and the look. I believe that it has to be built with the same materials as the first one.
Yep.
If you don't do that, then you're making in my eyes like a bootleg,
Like a knockoff.
Oh yeah.
like a knockoff.
Oh yeah. Speaking of bootlegs, I'm all about the bootlegs. Don't
Now,
hate,
I
don't
like
hate me, Angel.
bootlegs.
Yeah.
I love bootlegs. I have a
Yeah.
big bootleg collection.
Yeah, you can find
That's
some really
not-
good ones.
I'm talking about they're trying to make this thing identical to the original thing,
Oh,
and it says Mattel and everything, but it just don't feel right.
Yeah. So in a way,
So-
you're not getting what you pay for. Then yeah.
Well, you get what you pay for, but the younger people that don't know the original ones, if you don't, you never have any of the new ones. You don't know the difference.
yeah.
Yep.
But just
But-
what do you think about the Playmates literally reissuing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the '90s line, the cartoon line? Like they're literally, it's like a San Diego Comic-Con
Comic-Con
exclusive.
6-pack.
I'm not excited to see the price on it, but it comes in like a cardboard box of the van. Looks like the van, and then it has all the 6 original, like Shredder,
Oh wow.
all 4
Splinter and the
turtles, and
Turtles.
yeah, just like they were like early '90s.
Again, that is all cool, but if you hold them next to the next one, are they gonna feel the same?
No.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
But-
the thing is that the reason they do that is because the companies that make it is so much cheaper to make it the way they do it now.
Yeah.
So going back is actually, it doesn't, they make less profit. So I get that, but I'd rather pay more to get the original that feel to it than to get something that don't feel the same. It's like getting like clone or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally. Do you army build?
What do you mean, like multiples of one?
Yeah, like, I mean, I have probably
Well, I know you collect
60
trolls, right, Toro?
I have some. I collect. See, I have a random collection. So, like, I give you a sample. GI Joe. I collect all the African American GI Joes, and I collect all the sports figures from particular lines. So
Oh, okay.
I give an example of G.I. Joe. I have the Fridge.
Yeah.
It's an NFL
Refrigerator
player.
Perry.
Yeah.
So I like those crossover. And when I show you some of the figures, I will talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do. And another thing I like to collect, I like to collect all the camouflages figures.
Oh, okay.
So camouflage. So they look like real military-like.
Okay.
Like a lot of Sergeant Slaughter.
Would you
Corporal
consider
Kirchner.
Sergeant Slaughter part of the sports?
Well, yeah, because he's a wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and last year in GalaxyCon, I get to meet him for the first time, and
He's
Oh
awesome.
wow, yeah, he's cool.
it was such a great experience because not only I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, but WWF. And I remember getting him and the tank for Christmas one day. So he was awesome.
He was
he's
really
a
nice.
local
Do you
guy
have
from
the
Minnesota.
GI Joe one, like the really rare, like him
I
and
have
Roddy
both of
Piper?
them.
Okay.
You
like
do?
like the 25th anniversary one,
that's
or the
cool.
original?
No, not 25 anniversaries. I stick mostly with I have 1960s G.I. Joes and 1980s.
Yeah,
okay.
the originals.
Gotcha.
The 84s.
Yeah, I don't have anything newer than that.
Yep.
And then-
Well, yeah.
There's the Hasbro, like the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter, right? That's the one that's like released by GI Joe too, right? Not just WWF.
What do you mean, the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter or
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they both
the Hasbro
Hasbro.
Sergeant Slaughter, but I thought they did a packaging. There's the WWF packaging, and then they redid it for like the GI Joe line.
Well, I mean, the ones that I know, there's a Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe, and there's another one that was a mail order that you had to send the stamps to get it.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter figure, and there's the LJN old Robert
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh yeah.
And then Jax had a bunch. Jax made a few Sergeant Slaughters. I have
Yeah.
Jax.
Yeah.
Because I
I
had him
never got into
autographed.
the Jacks that much.
I bought that one just to have him autographed because I was like, oh, I'm going to go meet Sergeant Slaughter. I want to have a figure for him to sign. And I was like, oh, I have this Jax one. And I mean, he signed the sweet spot and
Nice.
took a picture with me, talked to him.
Oh, that's cool.
One of my, I don't really collect GI Joe. I do have a few. I have a tank. I have a jet. I should actually have you look at these, Toro, because I'm probably going to get rid of them. But
Okay.
what I do like about that line is, even though they were really small, every truck, vehicle, anything came with a guy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, you want me to blow your mind right now?
Go, brother.
All right,
Oh
and
no, what's he bringing out here? He's going deep in the vault.
you say you don't want to have a G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah.
You recognize this guy? I don't know if you can see it right here.
Let's see.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
Whoa, wait. Is
What?
that?
Oh, is that an American Gladiator?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's a G.I. Joe.
No.
it is?
GI Joe.
Yeah, his name is Big Boa. He's a cobra.
Oh,
You see the
yeah.
cobra,
What?
the fist,
Oh,
cobra
look
fist?
at that.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So, and he comes with the outfit and a boxing bag that he punches G.I. Joes.
Whoa,
I've seen
nice.
that too.
Alright.
I've never seen that GI Joe before.
That's
Never.
amazing.
This is one of my favorites. Guess what? He's a physical trainer for the Cobras, and his job was, when they captured the G.I. Joes, he would punish them with physical activity until they had to give up or give out the secrets.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Wow.
Now, but I have one more thing. You know why he got boxing gloves and a boxing bag?
Why?
Guess who his rival was supposed to be in the G.I. Joe line?
Mike Tyson.
That close. Think about a big
Mr. T?
boxing name.
Big
Movie.
Who?
The
Rocky?
Rocky
Rocky.
Balboa
Yeah.
was
What?
supposed to be a G.I. Joe, and the deal
I've
went
never heard-
through.
That's crazy. Oh.
And Big Boa, and Sylvester Stallone was supposed to be a G.I. Joe, and they're supposed to be rivals.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
G.I. Joe went over and released this figure, even though Sylvester Stallone said, no, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
Well, how cool would it have been to have Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
those-
weird. It's
Yeah,
weird that
G.I.
it's weird that he passed.
Yeah,
on
that seems strange.
Not back then because he was huge and larger than life with Rambo. So I mean, he didn't need to.
He probably
and
didn't,
interesting
yeah.
that they actually gave him a little nod by his last name of Boa.
Yeah.
But why didn't they? They should have just named. They should have just done Rambo. Then they should have asked him, "Can make Rambo?"
Well, they could have done that
No,
too.
but they wanted to do Rocky. They
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
do Rocky because they wanted to have these two guys fighting off. That's why Big Boa was a buzzer.
So I have two questions for you.
okay.
One, is that like last generation on a cartoon, or did it ever show up on the cartoon?
No, this is a 19. Let me think. I think 1987.
Oh, early
this-
first gen.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is 1990. Look at the muscles on this guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a beefcake. He's got some Popeye stuff
Was this like
going
right
on
off
there.
the heels of like Rocky 3?
I just
or...
love that.
No,
like
that would've been-
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, look at the legs.
The articulation on these.
Oh, I know,
you
everywhere.
Like they were
So,
knocking out
Chad, if you're a
articulation in
trainer,
the
man,
80s.
you have to get this guy.
Yeah.
And you could
Oh,
fit them
gosh.
into any of the vehicles. He could fit in any vehicle.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
That's the great thing about
It's
those.
fantastic.
Do you have any of the Rambo
Toro,
toys?
what
in?
is that worth? Can I ask you?
What is it?
How much is that? How much is that worth? What does that go for? These days.
Complete.
Yeah.
This one is complete, so you need to get his. He has a little respirator thing that goes in his mouth, the two gloves, and this. This one goes about $25-$35.
Okay.
This one loose.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many of those do you have?
This is my. I have one loose, but it's not complete.
Oh.
It's he's
okay.
missing.
A glove?
No, he has everything else but the mouthpiece.
Oh, okay.
So, Toro, between you and I, we could look at that respirator and say that that's some sort of an environmental climate mask modern day.
Well, I think he was mostly when they use the respirators. I think it has to do with his training, CO2 levels, and I think it has to do with, if I'm not mistaken, he was even to the air that he breathed. He were calculating everything that went into his body.
Oh, meticulous. Interesting.
Yeah,
That
if
is-
I'm not mistaken.
I've never seen anything like that. That is.
Yeah, that's why I told you really like this guy.
Well, you probably just sold it to me, buddy.
Good gosh.
So yeah, we trade. He can be part of.
Part of the
The other
trade.
one is in good condition. So
I love it, man. You got anything else cool around there to show me? Us?
well, I have quite
Yeah,
a few
Chad's gonna
things.
be buying it all, so
Yeah.
just show it to him
Yeah, you don't have to show them.
specifically.
Yeah, I have a few things. So don't worry. But yeah, so
What's your favorite line to collect now, and what was your favorite line to collect when you were a kid?
so when I was a kid, it was Masters of the Universe and G.I. Joe.
Okay.
And
And it really hasn't
video
changed.
games. Huh?
So it really hasn't changed over the years as your
No,
favorite?
because I was in the goal. I don't know. When I was poor, when I was growing up, I had no money, so I was just happy to play with the toys.
Yeah, yeah.
But most of the time, I never see the toys brand new to read. I never read the package. I never know any of the history. I never read any comics. I watched the cartoons
Yeah.
in Spanish.
Oh, cool.
So I just started rewatching like He-Man in English,
Oh, okay.
and it's a
Nice.
different experience.
Yeah. So is it?
So-
you find it's a different story that they're telling, or?
No, I didn't quite understand all of this stuff. I thought they were cool toys and I wanted to play with them.
Yeah.
But now I'm going through a journey that I educated myself about these toys, and I want to learn the backstory because I want to know anything about them.
Yep.
Okay. I got a couple
yeah.
quick questions before we go. One is, what is your holy grail? And two, what is something that name one toy that you've been really looking hard for and you can't find?
Okay. Did you want me to show you the other toys or no?
Go for it, buddy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just saw that the time was. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hold that thought. Is that all right?
Okay.
All right. So I gotta show you one of my favorite toys. You guys know what this is?
That is a My Little Pony
But
Barbie.
who's on it?
No, that's not a Barbie.
That's a My Little Pony, though, yeah?
Yes, that's his. That's Sundance,
Okay.
and this is Megan. Megan is the human friend of the ponies.
Wait, they had humans in that show? I thought it was just
Yeah.
all talking ponies.
I don't
No,
remember
they-
that.
Were,
Yeah,
were they weird like the humans in Transformers?
No, they're like
Humans on the
they,
Smurfs. Oh.
she was about unity, about the helping the friends.
Okay.
And so Megan was a friend, and she and Sundance came together.
Wow, I just
Yeah.
never knew. I always thought it was just the ponies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they have a
had no
new
idea
line
people
that
would
they're
kill for
human
that.
ponies. That
Wow.
so only
They
newer
come-
lines have human ponies.
Oh, okay.
But this is the vintage one, so I think this is like 1980, 86.
Wow.
Oh.
So
Vintage.
they have 3 versions on her. They have an international version, and they have the baby sister Molly that goes with the baby Sundance.
Oh.
Okay.
But the reason I like this is I like collect like the humans that go to outlines, like in Transformers you have a human. I like the human.
Yeah.
Were
You
there,
know,
I don't remember
were
them
there human
being.
Transformer toys too? Do you remember?
Like the little kids, I didn't know if maybe
I don't
they
think
came
they're-
into a pack.
I don't
like
know.
The
That's a good
boy or
question.
Did
whatever.
they ever make? Did they make like a Spike or Spark Plug figure, Toro? Do you know? Like for the Transformers, or like remember they had the kid in the wheelchair. Did they
Well,
ever make
I-
figures or toys for those?
I have a confession to make. I don't know much about Transformers.
Okay.
That surprises me, bro.
You know why? Because when you pour, you
Those
can
are
even
expensive.
touch a
Yeah.
Transformer.
Right. Or a Voltron.
Yeah, Voltron.
Oh,
was-
Yeah,
Voltron
no,
was like-
Voltron I
You're
saw,
not getting
but
one.
Transformer was like.
What? Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw a Transformer, I went 2 hours and a half to my cousin's house that they have money. It's the city of San Juan. And I was blown away. I was so afraid I would break that I didn't touch the Transformers.
Yeah.
Because I know how expensive they were. So I never learned it because for me, Transformer was like a foreign thing. I couldn't even play with them. I never see them. So I have 3 boxes full of vintage Transformers that I haven't touched.
Whoa.
Well, because
But-
you're a thrifting king.
It's because I also that, but I want to go to it and learn everything about them because I had no clue.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
but
some
they're
good
cool.
guys in the posse that could help you with that for sure. You know.
Yeah, but I'm a stickler. I kind of want to learn the
On
hard
your
way.
own. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha,
Well, and that's
yeah.
the fun thing, man, is that you're learning to collect something new and learn everything about it. I mean, and we were talking about this weeks ago, is that the Toy Posse has caused me to expand my collection because of things that like, for example, when I bought that gargoyle from Toro. I would have never got into gargoyles. I didn't even know that they made a line.
Yeah.
And then I started noticing that these lines are
Oh,
actually
there's
kind of dope.
gargoyles out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing! It's one of the best cartoons of all time.
It was a great.
And it was a
cartoon.
dark Disney cartoon.
Oh, so cool! Even the theme song is one of the greatest theme songs, and
Totally.
Are they doing a live
it's-
action or something, or a reboot of the cartoon?
They were talking about doing a
Something like that?
reboot on Disney Plus, but I haven't heard anything.
They
It
need
was just
to.
kind of a Kickstarter kind of thing.
There's
so
like
many-
time for a
Ooh,
rewatch.
another-
so many things that they could
Yeah, right. A
remake.
rewatch of Gargoyles.
Yes.
There's
totally.
a lot to binge there.
Yes.
Ooh, wait, what does he have now?
What do you got, buddy?
all right, this is my all-time favorite line. I collect everything about this.
Okay.
Small soldiers,
Oh my
Oh.
Oh my
Archer,
gosh.
and
People-
Chip Hazard.
Oh. Wow.
Tommy Lee Jones. I wonder how they got him.
Surprisingly,
to
was
be
the
that.
bad guy over
Yeah.
the soldiers.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite toys. I just love this movie. I love this toy. I think it's underrated.
It's a great.
Are
movie.
they
Great
organized? They're cool toys. They're well made. They have different sizes.
Yeah.
All the accessories are cool.
Some of them talk.
Did they have the whole line, Toro?
Uh,
They,
they
made a
have
lot of them.
every character there is.
And they have like
Really?
vehicles and stuff too. I think.
Yeah,
I've
they
seen them.
have-
I've seen
Yeah, I
some
don't
people.
remember that.
There's like a contingent of people on the posse that
Collect vehicles.
collect the small soldiers.
Look
like
at
the
his
whole line.
face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really
Look
well
at how
done.
serious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
Look at
good
all
all
that
great
detail.
Yeah,
actor.
that
too.
detail is great.
And Mark, do you know that one of the dolls they're called Gwendy? The Gwendy number 2 doll. That's your girl Christina Ricci in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know.
He has a
that.
bunch of them now. He has a.
He was like,
I'm
all the Christina Ricci
I'm
dolls,
army
don't
building
worry.
that one.
Yeah, they're hard to find, but when you find it, if you ever find that, hit me up, because if I don't have it, I take it.
I have one you might not have. It's one of the big soldier guys, but it was one per box, because I remember back in the day I busted open the box at Toys R Us from the top shelf, and I was like, oh, this is back when I was like really in collecting just to grab the only one figure out of the 12 figures in the box. I didn't even care what I was buying. I'd go in there and I'd rip the box open with my key and just like, it's only one of these guys, mine. You know what I mean?
He was one of
But
those people.
I'll dig him up and I'll send you a picture. I can't. I mean, he's buried in the vault somewhere.
This makes
but I
me want.
definitely
This
got
makes me
him.
want to watch Small
Yeah,
Soldiers.
that should be the next if we ever get the movie thing
Phil
going.
Phil Hartman.
the-
What a
Sure.
Phil
what a
Hartman was
great
in it.
movie.
That's just a
That movie,
great
too.
star
Yeah, he
cast.
died when
Yeah.
the movie
that
was
was tragic.
released.
That was
Oh,
the
really?
last
Was
thing
that
he
how
did, I
long
think,
ago
right?
it was?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they honored the movie to him.
Yeah, that didn't. And
His wife murdered him, actually.
And again, just like Gargoyles, that is kind of a dark movie. There's a lot of violence
Oh,
in
it's
that.
Very-
R.I.P. Troy McClure though.
Yeah, R.I.P.
yeah.
Troy McClure. Yeah.
But it's a classic. It's a fun. It's dark, but it's actually fun because you have humans interacting. It's almost like if you like Toy Story, it's very Toy Story
Like a
like,
dark line.
But yeah,
dark
but
but
they
line
more
interact.
Toy
more for
Story,
older
yeah.
kids.
Yeah, but it's like if Andy interacted with the toys that he had.
Yeah.
There's a very young Kirsten
Yeah.
Dunst in there too.
Yes.
Kristen Dunst banging everything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She's been in a lot.
She's been
a lot of
around
stuff.
for 100 years. She's a vampire.
Yeah, she's
She
63
literally
now.
was a vampire.
But
Yeah, she was literally
Yeah.
interview with the vampire.
so Toro, real quick, we want to wrap it
Yeah.
up, but we want you to plug everything, all your social medias, your store. Where can we buy some of your stuff since there's no
can-
swaps right now?
One more toy. Is that
right.
okay?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
This is my favorite toy. Not because I'm a Super Mario collector, but
Oh,
I bought
gosh.
this in South Africa in one of my greatest trips. When we went there for a trip, I went with a group of Minnesota people.
Cool.
We went out to the farms where all the workers work and this is in Kruger National Park. These are the people that collect the oranges and the lemons, but they also have workers coming from all over Africa, and they have these thrift stores and they make clothes for the people and they educate them. They get their health services because they have a horrible AIDS pandemic at one time there.
Mhm.
And this was in the thrift store, and my wife and I wanted to make a donation because we were very touched by what they were doing.
Hmm.
And I said, I don't want nothing back, but can I have this toy? And they opened the thrift store for us, and they gave me this toy.
Oh,
And other people
that's
got
awesome.
other
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
But and one of the things that, if you know about South Africa, you see the words Ubuntu on the walls everywhere. It means that we are in this together.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
And it's about unity. So when I think about this Mario, I think about it reminds me to the toy community and how can us being together is special, especially in this hard time that a lot of people are just arguing for no reason and doing. It's just hard time.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have a toy community that I can meet and talk to, and because without that it would have been a little bit rougher.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, so-
very much so. And can you
Yeah.
imagine once we get another toy swap going, how big it's going to be, how happy? And you got to go, Brandon, because you haven't been to one
I
yet.
need
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
I need to.
The next,
I need
the
to do
next
some
toy
perusing.
swap
It's going
is
to
going to be insane.
it's going to be huge. But
Yeah.
what other toy community, Angel, can you think of that can do this right now and sit here and talk about just about anything like buddies, and have so much in common? Like you said, that camaraderie.
What I found during this time, since I've been shows, I've been connecting with a lot of not only Minnesota but in other states, and
Yeah.
doing trades with guys from the other state, and how a lot of us are the same.
Yeah.
And and when you look around, all the people that I meet to the different toy groups and shows and the Posse and everything else, I look at the people I know now. These are people I would never probably met in my life, because everybody I knew was to sports or to different backgrounds, and now I'm meeting my people, and I love it. And this is kind of the number one thing I think, what we teach other people and why they like it, to embrace everybody, to feel comfortable, and to love each other. And toys is one of the keys that we can bring, and we get a good example for the young kids and everybody coming up.
For sure.
Because we try to make some money and get our favorite toys, but at the end of the day,
It's about the
You know.
kids and the good times and the memories, and we all swap. Man, when I leave out of a swap, I feel like I've been on a roller coaster for 6 hours, and it's like my favorite roller coaster ever. And I just I can't wait to go back on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, and you get to see, it's like a reunion. You get to see all your friends from school or something.
Yeah,
like,
oh, I haven't seen you guys
or
in
like-
a month, but
or
it
it's
feels
like a
like
summer vacation reunion.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh man, I went to summer camp, and all these guys that are, we all have something in common.
what do you got on your table? Oh my God, I had that when I was a kid. Check this out.
Yeah,
it's just-
totally.
and it's gonna be awesome, because what happened during COVID, people are cleaning their houses for the first time.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see merchandise you haven't seen in years.
No,
Yes.
we're going.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
But Toro, thank you.
No. Hold on a second. Toro, you got to answer my questions. First is, what is your holy grail, and what are you looking for? What is the missing holy grail, and what is the holy grail that you have right now?
Well, I say my holy grail, my favorite. I don't call it a holy grail, but my favorite thing I have, I say my carded Spanish He-Man,
Ooh.
and the other thing I say is I have a picture autographed by all my favorite basketball players of all time.
Oh.
Nice, okay.
Cool.
Larry Bird, Dr. J, Magic, and Jordan.
Oh
That's
my
my
God.
favorite.
You like The Last
Goodness.
Dance?
Dude, that's like
Last
That
Dance fan.
that's
is
awesome.
impressive. Wow.
So and what I'm looking for, I would like to find a Spanish Skeletor to match up with the He-Man Spanish one.
okay.
Super badass.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I'm excited. Jonathan Kursick, he's working on a custom for me,
Oh, nice.
so it will be my first custom ever.
Cool. He
And
makes
it's gonna be a
awesome stuff.
representation of my favorite toy lines and old school Toros.
Oh.
So
Oh.
And
I
that's-
guess that's gonna be one of my grails when it comes
Can't
out.
wait to see it.
No, I look forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to show us. Hey, real quick before we end this, can you hold up that Mario again?
Yes.
Because I just want to say that Mario, go ahead and flip that Brandon, the big one.
Yeah.
That right there, that pose right there, when I used to be a break dancer, that was my finishing move.
Oh really?
I'd cross my arms like that, and that would be the end of my set. That's true.
That's awesome.
I would.
Hey, he has a hole in his head. Too.
Just like me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Toro, man, I love you, man. Thank you for coming on.
You gotta
And-
come on again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you got to come
Yeah.
in next
you
time.
know how many times I've been trying to come and
I
and
know.
something gets on
Crazy
the
stuff.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Kids, COVID.
kids, and
everything.
yeah, I mean,
My 10-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
yes, that
Yeah.
too. But yeah,
You
next
know?
time we'll got to get you in here and we'll bring some stuff and do the whole segment.
All right, dude, you need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hit up
Angel,
Toro.
Angel, will you
old
put-
school Toros.
Well, Angel, will you put that aside for me, please?
Old School Toros, Instagram, Facebook.
Antiques Minnesota.
I always make videos about toys, interactive toys, and I'm not an expert in anything, but I tell you what I know.
Yep.
We'll put some links on there for you too, buddy.
All right, and we'll have to do a video of Chad getting. So next time you come in, bring the personal the GI Joe. and
Yeah,
we'll
that's
have you-
mine. That's
have
mine,
him buy
Angel.
it on the channel.
So, Angel, put that aside along with that big 10-inch rock that you're going to sell me too.
Wait, 10-inch what?
The rock?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
He's like, what?
I'm going to
I
try. I'm
don't
going
know,
to keep
but
trying.
I want that enemy guy.
We'll talk. We will absolutely
Okay.
talk. All right, Angel, thank you so much for being on, brother.
Thank you,
All
Angel.
right, guys, be
All right, guys.
safe.
You
All right,
too.
you
Don't
too,
mess
brother.
Because we want to be able to do the shows, but in order to do the shows, we got to make sure everybody's sticking
Everybody's
to the plan.
Staying healthy.
Yeah.
Give
I
the
agree.
family hugs for us.
All right, guys.
All right, brother.
Man.
Stay safe, man.
Take care.